all the things I would take gladly. But if you took things I could give without strings and honey, why not take some of me? Said if you I could give without strings and honey, why not take some of me? Hi-yo! How's it sounding so far, huh? Sounding all right? It's not too overbearing, it's not... I'm not sure. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
This side of calf, because this is his good ear.
This guitar is for sale. I'll let her go cheap. She's pretty looking, but she don't keep. She can roar like the west wind. She can weep, she can wail. But the tunes that she plays ain't selling today. This guitar is for sale. She's laid close beside me on cold winter nights. She's got me in trouble, and she's won me some fights. We both came out all right. She knows all the side songs that Hank ever wrote. Just touch her once gently, and she'll take you on home. She'll tell you some story about junkyards and jail, and with the song, a dream that went wrong. This guitar is for sale. She's rode across this country on freight trains and trucks, and on round pawn shop windows, when we're down on our luck, and we've been down on our luck. Please treat her kindly and keep her out of the rain. You know, it's funny you're asking. gave her a name. They say she looks weary. You've been reading our mail. So if you've got the dough, buddy, take her and go. This guitar is for sale. She's won me some ladies with her sweet loving songs. She stood right here with me when the ladies were gone. And the ladies are gone. Hard time and trouble have been dogging our tail. So if you've got the dough, buddy, take her and go. This guitar is for sale. This guitar is for sale. $50, $100, $300.
Is that a new guitar?
$500. What's that?
Is that new to you?
No, but I don't use it enough. I've had it for a few years, but it's probably got like a month's play out of it. What are we looking at on time?
It's that time.
10 till? Nice.
5.
Nice. Yeah.
Relax, chill out,
Relax,
calm down.
chill. How we doing, y'all? Doing good? Thanks for
My
coming.
wife Joyce in the middle.
Joyce, how do you
Sister
do?
Kathy this
How you
side,
do?
my friend Steve
Kathy?
on the other side.
Steve?
Hey,
Right on. Steve, have we met before?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay.
Steve is a musician. He plays the oud. He's pretty versatile. How many instruments do you play, Steve, besides oud and
I have
guitar?
lost count.
Nice.
Clarinet.
Nice. Really?
Yeah.
Clarinet, oud, qanun,
I love the clarinet. You know, for Oregon Country Fair
fiddle
this
for
year.
about 6 weeks until I heard myself on tape. Enough of that.
Yeah, if I had good judgment, I would have stopped playing the banjo too.
Did you say the Oregon Country Fair?
Yeah. So I've been going to the country fair for over 10 years now.
We used to play there in the 80s on the belly dance stage.
Okay. Nice. What was the band?
The Brothers of the Balladees.
Okay. Do you know Tim Long?
No.
He's a washboard player and guitar player. He's one of Baby Gramps' acid babies, right?
Gramps.
Yeah. Baby Gramps, he claimed me as one of his acid babies. He's like, oh yeah, that's my acid baby. I said, hey, I was
That was there.
yeah, I wasn't really getting the full, depth of Baby Gramps claiming me. And I was like, Baby Gramps, I'm not your acid baby. And later on, from the conjugal visitors, our buddy Maz, he comes up, he goes, no, Banjo, you're not Baby Gramps' acid baby, you were Roy Clark's acid baby. Yeah.
We used to go see Baby Gramps at the Laurel Thirst Tavern.
Yeah.
Right. Chumley was up there.
Every first Friday, right?
I think it was the first
Yeah.
Man, that's been decades, so.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. I haven't seen him in a while. We actually, at Country Fair this year, I kind of did an experiment, which was I took 4 musicians who I knew to be absolutely incredible musicians. The kind of musicians, probably much like yourself, that can fit into anything. You tell them the key, and they already know what they're playing, right? And so we had a washboard player, a bassist, a clarinet player, and a fiddler. And one was from our clarinet and saxophone. He was from Seattle, and then our washboard player is from Portland, and our fiddler was from San Francisco, and our bass player was from Fresno, and they had never met each other before. And so I brought them together the Monday prior to Country Fair, and Monday night was our first show. And then Tuesday night was our second show. Wednesday night was our third show. And so we called it the band. It was Banjo, Youngblood, and the band, Banned. And but they were absolutely incredible. But our saxophone player, he and I are both friends of Baby Gramps. And somebody played a cruel joke on Country Fair this year. somebody spread the rumor that Baby Gramps died. And so there I am Friday night, and my saxophone player comes up to me right after getting off stage, or, it wasn't stage, it was, playing for a private camp. But he comes up and he's like, just bawling. He's like, Baby Gramps is dead. And so we vowed to make that Oregon Country Fair League one that Baby Gramps would be proud of. And it turns out he wasn't dead.
Was he there?
It wasn't there, no.
Okay, because I did see a sign that said "Bring Baby Gramps back."
Right.
I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Did someone kick him out or?
being a buddy of Baby Gramps is like, people are in love with the concept of Baby Gramps. You get to know him, you're like, oh, he's a grumpy little poot, you gotta love him,
How long have you been playing banjo?
How long I've been
Playing music?
I'm 37 years old. I've been playing for 18 years now. Yeah, I started when I was 18. Yeah, I left Houston. I grew up in Houston. I wound up leaving Houston with my first banjo, and it was on a road trip after my first year in college, and then I wound up riding freight trains from Berkeley, and the best thing I ever did as a musician was get rid of my banjo case. And so I traveled miles and miles and miles with my banjo right in front of me, and that's pretty much how I taught myself. But I was a hardcore punk rocker before I ever picked up a banjo. I was in I didn't even know what a banjo should sound like, so I think that was probably a benefit to what sound I produce now. Plus being from Houston, so many amazing musicians from Houston. I'm glad to be part of that.
Huge city.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's officially the most diverse city in the country, which I'm very proud of. A lot of good food. A lot of good food. Camo and I, we're on a 10-day. We're on day 10 of a 10-day juice cleanse right now. So we've had no solid food for 10 days, with the exception of a couple bites of a nectarine and 2 grapes.
You can celebrate with a huge steak and a big cake at the dessert after.
He's cooking you breakfast in the morning.
Yeah, I'm making breakfast. Yeah. That sounds good. She asked me the other day, I didn't miss a beat. She was like, "What would you eat?" I said, "Fajitas." I'll give you some of those tin I'm hoping a few more people will show up, and what I'm looking forward to with this set is it's a little more unique than what I'm usually doing, which is just playing tunes. But what I'd like to do is take you on a little bit of an adventure of who I am and what I'm about, and what brought me here and where we're going after this. And I'll do that through some anecdotes as well as music. We'll walk right in, sit right down, that'll let your mind roll on. We'll walk right in, stay a little while, now you can't stay too long. And everybody's talking about your new way of walking, well, do you want to lose your mind? Say walk right in, sit right down, and let your mind roll on. We'll walk right in, sit right down, maybe let your hair hang down. We'll walk right in, stay a little while, baby, you can't stay too long. Everybody's talking about your new way of walking, well, do you wanna lose your mind? Say walk right in, sit right down, maybe let your hair hang down. Everybody's talking about your two-way woman, well, do you wanna lose your mind? Say walk right in, sit right down, maybe let your hair hang down, I mean, and let your mind roll on, I say, maybe let your hair hang down. You all know about Gus Cannon, right? Gus Cannon and his Cannon Stoppers. It was prior to the Rooftop Singers, which they wound up stealing that song from him. You know, he was I think he was an original member of the Memphis Jug Band. Gus Cannon. Yeah. You ought to see old man Jones, he rattles his bones with Parson Brown spinning around like a pony. Ain't my much past 103, this is shouting out through the pet. Watch your step now. Old man Jones spinning around on his toe, those purchased Louis Hose. Hail of the boy and tail hell, this gang's over here, Yahweh and the Jubilee. You ought to see old man Jones as he rattles his bones as Parson Brown spinning around like a pound head. And his money must past 103, this is shouting out through the pet. Watch your step now. Old man Jones spinning around on his toe, those crutches to win all those. Hell of a boy and a tail hell, this gang's over here, now in the Jubilee. And hell, the gang's over here. Oh, the banjo, Youngblood, and old Barney. Jubilee.
You went from rock and roll to,
What's
you went
that?
from rock and roll to this kind of music? How'd
You're right.
you do that?
Well,
Difficult.
yeah, I had well, I wasn't playing music at the time, right, which made it kind of simple, but I had a girlfriend at the time. We were running our own punk venue in Houston. We called it Dead Baby Distro, right, and so she wanted to play a banjo, and I was making fun of her. It was when I picked up a banjo, it was a practical joke, but I really took to it very fast. And so what we had at that time that wasn't punk rock was we had the new vaudeville band, you know, Winchester Cathedral, you're bringing me, and these were vinyls that we had inherited from her father. And the other one was Leadbelly, and it was rare recordings of Leadbelly when which I just absolutely fell in love with. And so, the only thing I knew about what a banjo should sound like is the stereotypical, whatever you might have, hillbillies or whatever you might have heard it on. It's like, okay, well, that's banjo, and then I was introduced to the blues shortly after, while I was, in the middle of all this punk rock. But when I started hopping trains, it was like, okay, well, now this is who I am. I'm no longer this, owner of a punk rock venue. I'm now this train hopping banjo player. So like, what now? I didn't have any. I was wearing my banjo picks backwards. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like making it up, completely making it up. And so it was really all through the influence of friends. As I would meet other musicians on the road, they would imprint on me a little bit here and there, teach me a song, and it was like, this is, and Tim Long, who was the one I mentioned, he's since passed away, but he wound up being my best friend for 10 years in Eugene, and taught me a lot of the old, one of my favorites is the eggplant that ate Chicago. Watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago, 'cause he might eat your city soon. You better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago. If he's still hungry, he's coming to you soon. He landed from outer space, looking for something to eat. He landed in old Chicago, thought Chicago was sweet, tasted just like sugar. You better watch out for the eggplant that ate Chicago, 'cause he might eat. Right, yeah. And so we had a jug band. We played, oh, this feels so wonderful, natural visiting. Stay tuned. Day 10, still strong.
There's a lot of things going
What's
on.
happening?
Wow.
What's that?
We have signs that are having
Oh my
a
gosh.
jam down in the area of 61 at 4 o'clock, right?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I also promised that I was going to promote this as well. Just over at the pizza shop in Wilderville, Nightmare Cookies brand, and so that's why they're not here. They wound up with a good gig over there. So like nice.
We're getting back here.
What's that?
We had them here and we're really successful.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Like 20 members of their family, which really helped.
right. Yeah. Well, they're awesome, which also really helps. Every time I get to see them, every once in a while, I'm lucky enough for them to be like, "Hey, come and sit in on a couple of tunes," which is, always a pleasure. But even just being in the crowd for them, it's like they're off the hook. Here's a little ragtime tune I wrote a few years ago, and you can just imagine with this tune that the sun's just breaching the window, shining on your sweetheart's face as they open their eyes and you open yours. There you are first thing in the morning, staring in each other's eyes, and you can just imagine you're singing. What are you still doing here? I thought I told you to get out last night. We're having this conversation again. Have you been told today how beautiful and in love you are? I can't show you how much I appreciate you, and I hope these few words are pure. So I'm Banjo Youngblood. I said like Banjo dog. People go, oh, like the instrument. I said no, like the dog. It's B-A-N-J.
Okay.
But so I'm originally, let's see.
Sorry, everybody.
I want to tell you what my purpose. My purpose is to cultivate uninhibited living and to answer the call to play. And so I've got questions. I wrote down questions to kind of guide me through this. We got some people coming in. This is exciting. You got here just in time.
Sorry guys, I'm
Nice.
trying to figure this out. I'm trying to make you nauseous. There we go. Okay.
You brought your own chair. Nice. How are we doing now? No, I was just introducing myself. I'm Banjo Youngblood. How you doing? Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. It was good to see you here.
Doing what I can.
Yeah. Nice. I'm glad you're here. I was just sharing with them my purpose as an individual in this world is to cultivate uninhibited living and to answer the call to play. And is it coming through all right? Because I'll say that a million times. Okay. Yeah.
Loving the car out front.
What's that? Oh yeah. This is one of the ways, right? Well, I'll get to the card for sure.
We've got Mel on the line.
Mel?
Dr. Mel.
Dr. Mel, yes. So anyway, I wanted to give an intention for this show, even for those that might be showing up a little bit later. My goals through what I do and how I impact the world. One, I want to experience freedom, right? And I want to share that. One that I'm looking for right now is financial freedom, right? And so one of my goals in doing these shows is that I would hope to create an environment where you're all feeling warm and uplifted and hopeful and inspired, and find a space where I can share what I have with you in a way that has you all feeling that warmth and uplifted and hope and inspiration, right? And then I want to get my family safely down to Mexico. My mission in life, as it is right now, and this will adjust, I'm sure, but
You've got a
is
lay on the line too.
nice, is to get my family safely around the country in pursuit of their passions, and to build on my trade skills. I do welding and mechanics and some carpentry here and there, and to put on a damn good show, right? And I carry on the mission of the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival and everything that I do ideally, which is to empower, educate, and entertain, and to put on 7-day celebrations for community resilience that brings people together in a way that cultivates community resilience, right? And so that's mainly why I'm here. Thank you.
It's a good thing to do.
Right? Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to get more into the Medicine Show Revival. You're going to get the full gist of it, hopefully. And so I wanted to. So where did I start? Right? I started in Houston, Texas. I told you a little bit about that, but I remember something that probably only my generation or older would remember from Houston. And I got to run into somebody who, they had a Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a gas station that originates in Texas, and it's a little beaver, right? It's red with a little yellow beaver, and I'm looking at their jug, and I'm like, hey, you got Buc-ee's? I said, where are you from? They said, oh, how well do you know Texas? And I said, well, if your transmission's got you down and your motor falls apart, it's time to come to Thunderbolt. You don't need a brand new car. Well, we still believe in value. Pass it on to you at Thunderbolt. We fix it right and guarantee it too. We put the yee-haw back in your motor and transmission. They said, oh yeah, I'm from Houston too. We were talking about Lead Belly a minute ago, and he really is my first inspiration for Americana music. other than the medicine show, which was a weekly Monday night get down that happened at the local Knott's Rolls, which is Houston spelled backwards. And they would have a bluegrass jam every weekend or every Monday night. And I would sneak into that as a 16-year-old punk rocker and dance with all the pretty girls. But here's Lead Belly in Houston. So, young comes Rosie, when the world be known. Well, the nose by the Avon, and the dress she wore, umbrella on the shoulder, his paper in her hand. Well, the moment the captain turned me smiling, looks midnight special, shine a light on me. It's midnight special, shine a light on me. It's midnight special, shine a light on me. It's midnight special, shine a light on me. When it gets to the morning, that big bell rings, and he marks the table. Eats same damn thing, night marks on the table. Nothing in my pants. If you say anything about it, I have trouble with the man. It's midnight special, shine a light on me. 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 A lot of people, they think midnight special, much like the Orvis Blossom special or whatever other specials are out there, is about a train. But I happened to get the background story. See, back in Houston, during those times, the jails had no electricity, and they were on the run. So they would get their shipment of inmates and get them ready to go down to the jail in Sugar Land, Texas. And when they brought them in at midnight, they had to do so by lantern. And whoever that lantern showed them got out. This was the midnight special. So they sing. If you ever go to Houston, boy, you better walk right. And you better not squall, boy, and you better not fight, or the cops will arrest you. Get your boom and take you down. You can bet your bottom dollar, now you're sugaring bound. It's midnight special, shine a light on me. 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 It's midnight special, shine your ever-loving light on me. Thank you. So, as if you haven't noticed my family over here, this is Jethro. Here's the pirate. It's lost in his book. Mr. Jethro Joseph Mayhem Youngblood. This is my beautiful bride. This is Camo Youngblood. And we actually have a little girl, Jaslyn, and she's not with us right now because she's got chicken pox, right? So
She's got chicken pox?
yeah, right. So we got a friend taking care of her. They're having their chicken pox party or whatever they're doing. But,
It happens to all of us, right?
yeah, it happened to me, I remember. But, yeah, so what has brought us here, and I told you a little bit about the medicine show revival. So we travel around the country and we put on these 7-day celebrations for community resilience. And it winds up being educational workshops during the day and entertainment in the evening. We actually got one coming up. It's going to be October 4th through the 12th. It's going to be starting here in Grants Pass, and then the rest of it will be taking place in in Williams, which is very exciting, yeah. And we'll have some variety shows going on, as well as some concerts and movie nights and
What's the beginning date?
October 4th.
Oh, that's a-
Yeah, on October 4th, we've got a mobile party that's happening downtown here before we have a prom at Revolujahs. We're having an adult prom, right? So we've got a principal that's willing to stand guard the juice bowl, and we got a
Where's prom gonna
DJ.
be?
Revolujahs, 124 D Street.
Oh, I
yeah.
know where that is.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, the idea is that we, us as a family, we are stewards of the Medicine Show Revival, and Campbell and I are founders of the Medicine Show Revival, and that we are taking our mobile stages to small towns and rural areas to put on events that bring people together. I was telling Kent a moment ago, unlike what it was in the 1920s when it was bootleg liquor and cocaine and maybe a little bit of mint or flannel, to today what we're promoting, that the medicine we all need is community and the pursuit of passion. And so we're networking as much of these holistic, not only holistic, but also, we're talking about mind, body, spirit kind of medicines. We want to get people engaged in life, like they're really living it, and introduce things to them that they wouldn't have been introduced to otherwise. And so that's the entire point of these 7-day celebrations that we take all over the country. The purpose of that is to unite a seemingly fragmented nation with a laugh. And so, so we have a lot of fun doing that, and I'm really stoked to be here doing it.
Yeah, music is key.
Music is key, yeah.
Get out of our left brain and get into some music in the right brain.
Right, and that's exactly it. You're hitting the nail on the head. If we start talking about those really poignant things, but make them fun and endearing, and people, all of a sudden we got open minds and co-creation happening, right? And that's what we're about. Amongst warring tribes, so many died for who knows what and why. My grandpa say your grandpa gonna watch more die for these silly ideas of mine. Sometimes it's up to one to say, let's just get along. Sometimes it's up to one to say it was my grandpa who was wrong. Well, can't we all agree there's nothing finer than seeing the sunshine on your sweetheart's face? Well, can't we all agree what we all need is clean water in the streams? Well, can't we all agree what we all need is for the children to feel safe? Well, can't we all agree this world will be as fine as our finest dreams? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Woo! I listened to my grandpa, listen to every word he had to say. I met you face to face, he was cold and bitter, I don't want to die that way. Sometimes it's up to me to say, let's just get along. Sometimes it's up to me to say it was my grandpa who was. Well, can't we all agree there's nothing finer to see the sunshine on your sweetheart's face? Well, can't we all agree what we all need is clean water in the streams? Well, can't we all agree what we all need is for the children? Well, can't we all agree fine as all the finest dreams. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Hoo! Well, candy, I'll be, there's nothing finer than seeing the sunshine on your sweetheart's face. Well, candy, I'll be, all you'll need is clean water and streams. Well, candy, I'll be, all you'll need is for the children to feel safe. Well, candy, I'll be, this road is fine as all the finest dreams. Yes, it can. 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 Whew. I don't know if I shared with you most of these tunes. I think especially our tin pan fellas here are gonna recognize any tune that's not original. But most of them are original tunes. Like this next one. I'm talking about modern day medicine, right? And we're not gonna find it in the pharmacies. I married the mountain, excuse me, he married the mountain, the land's undescribable. The sun gave her away, the alley they strolled, the moon officiated marriage, the ceremony was beautiful and tight. And the moon that officiated their marriage insisted on their own vows they write. He said, I married the mountain, now that's just who I are. From the lowest points of the valley to the peaks nearest the stars. Every critter that live here, never bone before them that lay. Every stump and stone here carry my last name. You could rip me or I could walk peacefully, but no doubt I'd be back again. There's no confusion of who I am. I marry the mountain. I married the mountain, now that's just who I are. From the lowest points of the valley to the peaks nearest the stars. And every critter that live here, and every bone before them that lay. Every stump and stone here carry my last name. And you could rip me or I could walk peacefully, but no doubt I'd be back again. There's no confusion of who I am. I married the mountain.
Like the visual,
Do you like that?
the mood officiating.
Right? I loved it. Yeah, we actually, it's somewhere that I anticipate we'll wind up doing a medicine show in Texas. It was a little retreat center. And if you looked us up on YouTube, the Wandering Youngbloods, you could follow our travels around the country as we go down to Mexico on this next big adventure. And we'll be, we have a variety show that we started, and we need to edit the rest of the footage. But we started a variety show on there, and the very first episode is featured at this and features that song in it. And Jethro actually helped me write the first bit of that song at the retreat. So, yeah, I was telling you a little bit about hopping freight trains. And, I did that for 5 years, getting around the country that way. And naturally, there's a lot of hitchhiking that goes with that when trains drop you off in the middle of nowhere and you got nothing to do but take everything that you own and your dog and your banjo and just start walking. It's not uncommon for you to find somebody and the first question that you ask be like, "Excuse me, where am I?" As you start to figure out little tricks on figuring out where you are as you're passing cars on the box cars and you're looking at license plates to figure out, okay, what state am I in? And this was before GPS or smartphones was a typical thing. So it was a lot of just oh, this train is pointing northeast. Let's see. And so what I found there on the trains was naturally a lot of friends, but I also and chasing a lot of girls and finding a lot of love. I've always been a romantic, and that's the thing about hopping trains. I tell people, people ask me all the time, what is that like? I say, it's romantic, but it's not pretty. It took me a few years to finish this thing. Well, when I was a boy, I'll tell you what I did. I walked the whole round, met some friends, brothers and sisters, make the world go round. I'll tell you what I didn't mean to do. That's nice that you fell in the trains, and that's nice. Said, how's about me and you? And I'll tell you what it's due to the unexpected nature of love. Ooh, unexpected nature of love. I spent time in the door, not together and grew apart. Had big fights, battle of nights, too close to each other's hearts. Oh, attached the heck of me a minute. Come on, let's go and dance. I don't like what you do, I don't care what you like. Come on, let's make. Now I'll tell you what it's due to the unexpected nature of love. Ooh, unexpected nature of love. Well, it's down south of the seas. We'll come back and we'll see now. 2 weeks is much long for you, dear. Oh, the only way is much long for me. Let's work it out. Ski, for me from time to time. I'm doing me. You'll ask me to stay, I'll ask you to go. With backs and after we roam, I won't sit pretend to like all your friends. Leaving, I'll see you home, and I'm telling you what it's due to the unexpected nature of love. Ooh, unexpected nature of love. Well, let's head on south of the seas. We'll come back and we'll see now, won't we? 2 weeks is much longer for you, dear. Oh, a week away is much longer for me. Let's work it out. I'll tell you what it's due to the unexpected nature of love. It would have helped if I didn't write all this in pencil when I was looking at it. But
What year were you hopping trains? It sounds like the 1930s or something.
right,
Yes,
Yeah.
that's accurate.
you know,
It's a time hopper.
I had a birthday recently. It said, "How old are you?" I said, 124. But no, I was started doing that in 2008, I believe, 2009.
1999?
No, 2008.
Oh,
Yeah,
2000.
2008, 2009.
Jeez.
Yeah. You know, just after. What's that?
Great Recession yet.
Right. Right. Well, although you know, it wasn't. I was a student, and you know, I was never really impacted by the as far as consciously impacted by
Right.
you know whatever was going on with the economics. You know, I was a student and had a 2,400 square foot space that I turned into a venue, and really all I was worried about was riding my bike to school and having a few brews in the evening, right?
Have something to eat.
And right, but you know, after getting around on the freight trains, you know, it's a whole different culture, a whole subgenre of people, and it's a very small community. You know, and if you know anything about hopping freight trains, you know it's you develop a tag, right? This is the symbol that is me. I say SW, Southwest, or SW BND, Southwest bound, and this is the date. And wherever I'm hopping the train, I would put that. And so people knew how to find me. And so quite frequently, I would show up somewhere and run into people that I hadn't seen. I would show up somewhere in Northern California and see people I hadn't seen since Florida. You know, and so it was a very small community in that regard. The most hobos I ever saw on one train, which generally there's a rule, don't ride with people that you don't know, because you know there's real killers out there. But I once rode a freight train that had 28 kids on it.
Oh my God.
28 kids. We were all headed to a rainbow gathering.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a wild ride, and I'll tell you, my favorite ride that I ever went on was over the Great Salt Lake, because they got a train line that's built up right in the middle of the lake, and it's you know, if you got a boxcar that's open on both sides, it's like you're on a tall ship. You know, just looking out on the horizon, just you know, salt water as far as, and the train stops in the middle of the lake there sometimes, and I found a bull's skull out there, you know, and there's nothing living out there, right? It's, you know, the salt is so dense in the Salt Lake, with the exception of these little tiny white spiders and webs all over all the train travel. You know, that's something special they say about riding trains, is there's only two people that gets to see those sights, and that's the people riding the trains and the people driving them. Right? And so Union Pacific specifically, they, because BNSF is military shipping, right? You get caught on BNSF and you're going to prison for 5 years automatically. But Union Pacific, they kind of had this idea that if you got a hobo on your train, some people still abide by it. Hobos are good luck, and so we, I always found a lot of good luck in catching rides with Union Pacific, as long as I wasn't stupid, right? And a lot of people did this cat and mouse game. Whenever the railroad bulls came after them, they would run and hide. Well, nobody likes chasing people, right? So I kind of developed a little more of a bold way of hopping freight trains where I would stand there and wait till they came up to me and they would say, "Are you trying to get on my train?" I'd say, "No, I'm merely a train enthusiast." But hypothetically speaking, if I were trying to get on a train, maybe headed to San Antonio, what time would that train be showing up that you'd be looking the other direction? And I usually have pretty good experience with them being like, I'll be off at 5. Like, thanks. But and I've been in situations where I've had the entire train yard, it's 5 workers late at night helping me try to find a good ride. And that wound up being probably the catalyst for many of my blessed travels as to why I'm not missing a limb. Because it's naturally very dangerous. But here's a Cajun love tune that I wrote. Tossing never to music. She sweet, very sweet Creole music. Sing and swing for her. We sweet Jacqueline. When I'm pushing down by you, and I find myself in a gulf where the culture boils over, you may leave for loving home. Now I find myself in Creole country, in the border swing, where the culture boils over. Left my heart with Jacqueline. She sweet, where sweet Creole music. Sing and I swing for her. Promising never to miss. She sweet, where sweet Creole music. Sing and I swing for her. We sweet Jacqueline. Here's
350.
350?
Yeah. Almost halfway.
Thank you. I remember getting to Fresno, California. And I fell in love with a girl. She said, I was telling a buddy of mine, naturally being a young dirty hobo, anything smelled better than me. I remember asking him, telling him, I said, she smells so good, and he says, she smells good, like her neck or her, I said, her neck. And so wrote this song. Her neck smells like home. Her neck brings me home. Her neck smells like home. Mama, mama, bring me home. I'm coming home. She smells like sweet water. She smells like sweet water. I miss her and that sweet, sweet smell of sweet water. I'm coming home. Where did the fireflies go? Where did the fireflies go? I'm sitting in the heart of me, oh, singing, where did all your fireflies go? I'm coming home. I remember being a young boy in Houston, and there was fireflies. And as I got older, the fireflies were less and less. And I always kind of wondered why that was. And then I had these other memories of following these trucks that were spraying for mosquitoes and dancing in the clouds. And you wonder where the fireflies go. Her neck smells like home. Her neck brings me home. Her neck smells like home. Come bring me home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Kind of a testament to how small that hobo community is. You know, I was in Eugene many years after writing that song, and I probably taught it to one person, maybe two, and they all traveled around the country singing it. I remember being at this concert, some friends of mine playing in Eugene at the firehouse there, and somebody, I was getting along with them, and we shook hands and introduced ourselves, and I said, I'm Banjo Youngblood, and he's like, Banjo Youngblood? I said, yeah, I'm Banjo. And he says, your song, Her Neck, is what got me, like, kept me stable the entire trip back to Eugene. He was in New Orleans or somewhere in the South, and somebody sang him that song, and he learned it, and it was what spoke to him his entire way back, which was very, you know, it was a reassuring moment. It's like, that feels good.
Yeah, there's necks that smell better than other necks. They smell like home, and there's necks that smell.
Yeah, you know the difference.
I've dated enough people to know that, yeah.
Right, yeah, you know the difference.
Speaking of the neck, sometimes that head rests right in between your face and the camera, so just so you know.
Wildcat Kelly looking mighty pale, standing at the sheriff's side. And when he told him I'm taking you to jail, Wildcat raised his head and cried, oh, give me land, lots of land, and starry skies above. Don't fence me in, I wanna ride on that wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, I wanna be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the cottonwood trees, send me off forever, but I beg you please. Don't fence me in, turn me loose, let me saddle my old saddle underneath western skies on my cayuse. Let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I wanna ride where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. Wildcat Kelly looking mighty pale is my favorite part. Sitting at his sweetheart's wing, and when she told him, come on, let's settle down, Wildcat raised his head to sing. Oh, give me a lamb, upper lamb, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, I wanna ride on my wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in, I wanna be by myself in the evening breeze. Listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees, send me off forever, but I beg you please. Don't fence me in, turn me loose, let me saddle my old saddle underneath western skies on my cayuse. Let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. I wanna ride to the ridge where the west commences, gaze at the moon till I lose my senses. Can't look at hobbles, no, I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. I can't look at hobbles, and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in.
Like that waltz time.
Right? For the longest time I couldn't get it, I'd wind up going back and forth, you know.
I hold your daughter.
Gonna hold her?
Does she like,
Yeah. She's about to turn 18.
she looks like she's got cataracts, I can tell.
Yeah. She's about as old as it gets,
Yeah.
you know.
Big, big.
Right?
Off factor.
So while I was hopping trains, I wound up developing a few friends and teaching them how to hop trains and this, that, and the other. And I got a call from one of them, a ukulele player once upon a time, Erin Michael, and she let me know about this thing that was going on that was sweeping the world. It was a movement. It was the Occupy movement. And you know, I was going through an interesting time in Boulder, Colorado. I was in a practice where I had decided not to spend any money on myself, and at that time, money was flowing like crazy. It was like I would just sit down and play because there was nothing else to do, and it was just money and money and money. And I would pass by these sausage carts, and I wasn't spending any money on myself, and so I would just learn how to really appreciate the smell of the sausage as opposed to being able to indulge. And those that came around me that were in need, I had plenty, and I was able to share with them, what I had been, getting from playing music, and so that was a very unique learning experience for me. But especially when it came to actual application, and when Erin Michael called me and she said, there's something big going on, and I want you to join me in DC. And so I wound up hopping trains and hitchhiking out to Washington, D.C. to join her, and we were among the first 8 people that slept across the street from the park. I can't remember which park, to be totally honest, but we slept across the street from the park the day before Occupy DC started. And we were, you could find videos on YouTube of Occupy DC, those early days, and we had formed a band there. And it was me and her and this other, beautiful stranger who was a guitar player who showed up. And we realized in those days how much of an impact our music and our passion had on the morale of the other people there. And it wound up being, you can see videos still today of the entire march at Occupy DC, walking down the streets, all chanting the same thing and singing the same songs, and us in the front, being a catalyst for that. And so we started what we called the Joy Committee, right? At the Occupies all over the country, and if you don't know, it was a movement that was all over the world. Every continent had, even Antarctica had an occupation that was happening there. Every major city in the world had an occupation that was happening. And so we there in DC formed the Joy Committee, and vowed that our service was to make sure that morale could be elevated. We noticed that had a really good impact. And before long, being the hobos we were, we decided that we would become the traveling Joy Committee. And some people stayed there, and they remained the Joy Committee, and then we traveled on, and we would hitchhike from Mobile, Alabama to New Orleans to Houston to so on and so forth, and as we were traveling, we found that our numbers got bigger and bigger and bigger. And so the band that we started in Occupy DC, we called the Revolujahs. And as we were getting bigger and bigger, we started bringing in more musicians, and then it wasn't just musicians, but it was jugglers and acrobats. And as we were getting down the road, and this mission that was bigger than us, and really, we were really all feeling it, there was a lot of momentum there, we developed what we called the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival. And this was kind of this band, but before we knew it, even more so, is it started sweeping the country. And we were getting calls from random places saying, hey, from other hobos going, hey, we just cracked a squat up here, a squat house, and we found a piece of cardboard that has Revolujahs written on it. And there was one moment when we were sitting in San Antonio, ready to catch a train to LA, and we found out that somebody in LA who was a mutual friend of a couple people in the Revolujahs, they got hurt, and so we all scraped our money together so that they could get a ride share out to LA. And when they got in that ride share, two out of 8 of us got in that ride share, and there was 2 other people in that ride share, and the only person in the vehicle out of the 5 that didn't know about the Revolujahs was the driver. And the other 2 riders were Revolujahs who we had never met. And years later, I wound up meeting a very dear friend of mine hadn't indulged to me until I started picking up the momentum again after I met my bride. And she said, he told me, it was at Occupy Portland, which I had never been to Occupy Portland. He said it was at Occupy Portland when a friend grabbed him by the shoulder and shook him by the shoulder and said, "You have to go find the Revolujahs." You know, and so this wound up becoming a thing that over 300 people around the country had vowed themselves to that they were Revolujahs, and what this meant was that we were committed to doing what we were passionate about, being in service to those committed to doing what they're passionate about. And so it began this symbiosis of maybe not so mainstream, subgenre of people who were committed to helping each other out and doing that which brought us life, right? And so that was a very powerful thing to be a participant in, and we still have it going on. In fact, we have a book back here that was written about a teen school that's actually outside of Provo right now. It's the Co-Creation School. It's called Captain Lovescream and the High Seas Teens is this book. It's a 300-page adventure novel about this teen school that goes on the high seas during a time when the world is in political turmoil, and they have to learn primitive skills and everyday skills to be able to cultivate a farm on this tall ship that they inherit, and the Youngbloods happen to be co-characters in this book. They every once in a while they run into the Youngbloods, and everybody in the book are Revolujahs, and a lot of people compare us to hippies, and we say no, we're not hippies. The difference between a Revolujah and a hippie is Revolujahs have mission statements, and so we encourage everybody, and we actually have a website, and on that website you'll find a mission statement generator. It's just a series of questions, and you can go on there, and it tells us who you are, what you're about, how you want to serve a community, how you want a community to serve you, your wish list, your boundaries, and what you're out to achieve. And this kind of making that public knowledge kind of puts us all in a position where I see that I can help you in this regard, and you can help me in that regard, and it can be a very personable and yet at the same time very potent exchange of energy.
Is spelling like a mashup of revolution and hallelujah?
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah. And so, we traveled all over the country together. Here's what I'm getting at is, I'll make it cute. We traveled all over the country together, and eventually, much like it went with the way of Occupy. I don't know if y'all followed or participated in Occupy much, but what happened was it started getting cold, and those that were committed started. It was hard to stay in positive morale when it was getting cold and
Yeah, head south.
you're right. You're hungry and cold and uncomfortable, and even your socks were freezing. And, so as we were all going to Eugene to get a bus where we could have a wood fire in the bus and continue on our mission. Most of them thought that, well, they'd actually like to go home. And how it happened was we were in Roseville, California. We got on a train thinking it was going to Eugene, Oregon. Wound up going to Elko, Nevada. Eugene, I'm getting that bus. And when I was getting off the boxcar, there was a hot tub. We call it, that's the congregation of Revolujahs. When you have multiple Revolujahs in the same place, we call it a hot tub. Kind of much like a school of fish, that's a hot tub of Revolujahs. So we had a hot tub of Revolujahs all in a pile in this boxcar with the water bottles freezing around, and they were all cold. They didn't want to get out of the pile. And I said, I'm getting out. I'm going to Eugene. I'm going to get that bus. And they said, we're going to keep heading east, and we're going to go home. And we're going to go home for the holidays and be with our families. I said, that's okay. You'll go your way. So here it is.
We also have Yaya and Phil and Bree and Bug.
Nice. They say the old gang is parting ways. They say the old gang is parting ways. Look around you, they help shape the world we love today. They say the old gang is parting ways, so they say the old gang is parting ways. Jack, they say, found a good paying job. Henry up and married his sweetheart Rob. Though she tried, Sarah couldn't get past the passing of her younger brother Bob. George is doing what he's done all along. George is doing what he's done all along. And you must ask as to why, what could have been so damn bad for them to give up all that they had. And you must ask as to why, what could have been so damn good to give up a bond tighter than brotherhood. A bond tighter than brotherhood. They say the old gang is parting ways. They say the old gang is parting ways. I'll remember them as they were in their glory days. They say the old gang is parting ways, so they say the old gang is parting ways. Told the joke wrong. Jack, they say, wait. Henry loves Rob and he's doing well. They said he couldn't have done it right without Jack's help. Though she tried, it's done time to herself. George is doing what he's done all along. George is doing what he's done all along. I tell you, if I didn't mess that part up, it would have been an 8-minute song. So go ahead and insert montage here. They're doing it right again, and it's clear. Through a friendship they found, a family forged in their wills. They all said, bury me next to George. In their wills, they all said, bury me next to George. And you must ask as to why, what could have been so damn bad for them to give up all that they had. But you must know as to why nothing could be so damn good to give up a bond tighter than brotherhood. A bond tighter than brotherhood. They say the old gang is parting ways. They say the old gang is parting ways. You can tell me stories about mystics and ghosts and magic and what they did in the old days, but I won't believe what they say when they say the old gang is partying.
Yay.
Thank you. I'd say 1 out of 10, that's pretty good, right? So, as I wound up looking at this hot tub of Revolujahs who were committed to getting back east and being comfortable with their families during the holidays, and Elko, Nevada, I got out of the freight train and started walking. Walking out of Elko after catching the wrong train. Give my sign to the main boys, I'm flying my thumb in vain. And I can't help but think if I can make it 50 miles ahead. Oh, I know I can make it the rest of the way. If I can just get this right, it'll make my day. And you can see by what's written on my sign, I'm going west or going by way of mine. You can see by what's written on my face, I need a ride out of this place. You can see by what's written on my soul, I walked my feet to the bone. You can see by what's written on my thumb, every mile helps. And there's nothing like a warm cup of coffee to make you feel human. There's nothing like a hot meal to make you feel whole again. There's nothing like a cold night alone is gonna make you think of your best friends. There's nothing like the good people around to keep your eye on the mission. Written on my soul. I'll give that to you now. So I found myself in Ontario, Oregon. You know where it is? Yeah, super northeast. There's not much going on there. It's a mile marker 1 coming from Idaho. And what you find is what I've commonly found, whether it's Laredo, Texas, or Ontario, Oregon, or just over the Trim, Nevada. The closer you are to mile marker 1, the less people want to help. I don't know whether if it's getting past the last state, and they just want to keep going, or what it is. But I have walked away from mile marker 1, miles and miles and miles, so many times. Being in Elko, Nevada, there's something very unique about Elko. Not Elko, but Ontario, Oregon, forgive me. There's something very unique about Ontario, Oregon, is right there on the Oregon and Idaho border, they have the Oreida factory, like French fries, right? Potatoes.
Yeah, we were there in July, in the evening, and man, you
Potato.
know, in the 90s, and they got the sweet potato steak.
Right. So I was sitting there on the freeway, counting headlights, hoping the next pair of headlights would be my salvation. What I found is the most entertaining thing about Ontario, Oregon, is that Oreada factory every 28 seconds spits out a perfect smoker. That's Ontario, Oregon for you. And you can see by what's written on my face. And you can see by what's written on my face. Going west or going by rail. You can see by what's written on my face. I'm here right out of this place. You can see by what's written on my soul. I walked my feet to the bone. You can see by what's written on my thumb. Every mile helps.
I'm gonna take that. I can't imagine.
Sorry, I had to get my hand in there too. Okay, sorry, I gotta go home.
That was rough. I got out of there.
But you're glad.
I got out of there. I got out of Ontario, Oregon.
Yeah. The other thing I know about Ontario, that's a big prison there.
Is that right?
Oh, that's why we were
Some
there.
very Jewish was in
We
there.
went to see somebody in the prison.
Is that right? Well, that would probably explain why I
The
wasn't
other
getting
thing,
many
the only
pickups.
reason Ontario's there because they have 4 rivers going through there, otherwise it would just probably nothing.
Right. All right, you know, Snake River.
It's 420 van.
Awesome. So, I made it over to Eugene, Oregon, and what I found there is it was actually I did find a bus to leave with. But what I also found was my mom had traveled, and the reason why Eugene is because my mom had traveled from Houston to Eugene during a spiritual awakening first, and so I went to go be with her, and I heard that was a great place, you know, with Grateful Dead and Mary Pranksters and everybody to find a bus to continue on our mission. And what we found there was I found love, naturally. I found a sweetheart, and when we left on April 20th of 2012 from Eugene, we had a small caravan. We had a 40-foot bus. We had or it was a 35-foot bus. We had a Chevy conversion van, and we had a Geo Metro, and about 20 people already, you know, hitting the road with us. And we traveled all around the country doing the pursuit of the Revolujahs and the Medicine Show Revival. And we went from occupy to occupy, and we put on little variety shows and sang songs and this, that, and the other. And at our peak, we had 14 vehicles, give or take, and 60 heads, 60 people traveling with us. And it was quite.
That's like Barney and Beer.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty crazy, and it was totally chaotic. Like, you know, there was no direction. Which this was at a time where we were not implementing mission statements, and this is why. This is, you know, part of the experience that had us go. You know what? We need some order in the chaos. And at least individually we can find order. And so yeah, we started implementing the mission statements. But when we got all the way around the country and we got back, I had conceived a child. You met him, Jethro. here. And so, but that relationship wound up being very difficult, and I learned a lot about anger. And, well, legalized, localized, diagnosed, and none why do I keep fighting? I ain't having any fun. Is it her, is it me, or does it matter anymore? Well, I'm ruins, go wash along the floor, and I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? Well, line ruins, but a wash-blown floor is the man that's broken his love's heart. We're fractured to his action, but his temper's gone to war. Oh, self-control, let us like the go. I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I just won't wake up tomorrow, and I just won't go to bed, and I just can't stand the sorrow, and all I see is red, and so I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? And I beg, please calm down, Lord, and I still, what have I done, what have I done? Banjo, thank you. Actually got a few tunes about anger, honestly. I'll give you one more sweet tune. It's a bittersweet tune. Would you be able to take this microphone and sing this one with me? I can still see my bride Camo's here face on our honeymoon when she insisted that we sing it over and over and over again. So I could learn it. Hey lady, I don't miss you when I can't stand to toe. Sometimes I feel like there's just no talking to you. I'd rather bang my head up against the wall. Well, I know before we didn't do it the right way. If we both could see it, we both could change. For better or worse, be it all the same. We could stop and start doing it right. Well, I know before we didn't do it the right way. If we both could see it, we both could change. Better or speed or the same, we could stop and start doing it right. Didn't know you. I got this, we know I do sometimes. Gotta get away from you and that don't mean I don't love you and that don't mean I don't want to do for you. That just means I gotta get maybe or two so I can stop getting my head screwed on right. You got this, boy, I know you do sometimes. Gotta get away from you and that don't mean you don't love me and that don't mean you don't want to do for me. That just means you gotta get a minute or three so you can stop and get your head screwed on right. Now if I could get that through my thick skull
For the last time.
well, I would know we were doing alright. Hello, Youngblood, everybody.
Good job.
We have more tunes. Hopefully, we can get to them. We're
It's 4:30.
what's that?
It's 4:30.
4:30. Thank you. We only got 30 minutes more, and I will share. This was a unique show for me. Typically, I just kind of play songs. And eventually that only has so much interest with the crowd. But really, it downplays the life I've lived and what the songs are about. And really what brings me here and where we're going. And so it's been an absolute pleasure to play for y'all and tell you what's brought me here this far. You know, with and introduce you to Camo and you know, my son is 12 years old, so as much as I want him to be around, this is probably that time where he's going to start looking for every opportunity to not be around. You know,
12?
12, yeah, the pirate. Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough age.
Right. I'll play for you the. You know, after he was born. So when he was conceived while we were on tour with this 14 vehicles and 60 people. It was really remarkable. You know, she and I got married on top of Polydome in Yosemite during a solar eclipse, and he was conceived during a lunar eclipse in Arizona. Down by Quartzsite. By the time we got to Eugene, he was about 4 or 5 months along, and we were totally depleted from racing through the country and doing as much as we could for so many people and depleting our resources and just going. And by the time we got to Eugene, we were living in the van and exhausted. And I remember an older friend looking at us and with all the down pillows we could find shoved into the back of this Chevy conversion van so she could find as much comfort as possible. And she said, you know what you need is a bed up off the floor. And so we're going to. And we dream, yes, we dream of a bed up off the floor. My baby's small, and she's getting bigger. And we dream, yes, we dream of a bed up off the floor. She's big and swole and uncomfortable, and we dream, yes, we dream of a bed up off the floor. Said I love my baby, yes, that's a fact. That there's my baby boy. Said no, she ain't fat. She said, damn right I ain't fat. And we dream, yes, we dream of a bed up off the floor. Say I love my baby, yes, that's a fact. Said I love my baby, and she loves me back. And we dream, yes, we dream of a bed up off the floor. So there in Eugene, we wound up getting a little upstairs studio apartment. And we found a midwifery that would serve us. And come labor time, we brought an inflatable swimming pool so she could have a water birth. And we took it to the second story, and out through the balcony we pulled a hose and we filled up that that inflatable pool in the middle of our carpeted living room, and we heated it kettle to kettle, and after 40 hours of labor, there wound up complications. He turned around, not breech, but what they call sunny side up. And it was very painful for her. And the midwives became concerned. And they said, well, we're gonna have to insist that you go to the hospital. And so we did. We went to the hospital there in Springfield, Oregon. And 8 hours later, was born a beautiful baby boy, an ounce under 7 pounds. March 18th, 2013, Jethro Joseph Mayhem Youngblood. Now, what I didn't tell you is his biological mother's name was Sheena, and I go by Banjo. And there was a nursing student there, and he was helping out during the. He was very annoying to me until he got in the mix, and he's holding a leg and he's being very supportive, but for the life of me, he couldn't remember either of our names. So the entire time he's saying, "You got it, Shanna. You got it, Bango. You got this, Bongo. You got it, Shana." His name was Mick. So the next day when he came to check on the new family, I said, "You did a great job, Mac." So we wound up taking Jethro home. And 2 weeks later, so what the midwife told me that she didn't tell Mom is that babies are made of rubber for a reason. Every parent drops their baby. Don't panic. Now, we forgot to relay the message to Mom, and 2 weeks later, as he's wiggling around that bed, his neck muscles are starting to form, and he's getting stronger and stronger. He falls off the bed.
Falls off the bed?
He falls off the bed. Hits the ground, and she is inconsolable. She could have killed herself right then and there. And I had to remind her, I said, no. The midwife said this would be okay. They're made of rubber for a reason. So from that point on, we started singing, and we dream, yes, we dream of a bed back on the floor. Back on the bed, on the floor again.
That's always been my excuse. My mama dropped me on my head.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the flat spot will tell you, right? I was actually told that I'd been dropped on my head on a train, a passenger train. I feel like that made a lot of sense.
As much as kids bump their heads though, you wonder how they manage, to get to kindergarten healed.
Yeah.
learn to read. I mean, really, you know, you bump their heads, they fall. It's-
Rubber for a reason, that's what I was
Yeah.
told, yeah. So, our blessing, you know, we had a lot of issues, you know, I went through court multiple times trying to get custody of him and so blessed that I've got that boy in my life, and as it came to be, and we wound up getting out of weird situations that we probably should have never been committed to in the first place. We found ourselves escaping to Washington, and lo and behold, this is where we ran into beautiful Mrs. Camo Youngblood, and I wound up writing this song 2 weeks before meeting her, and she does massage and lives right off the Puget Sound there, you know. So this is honey, I hope you can swim. I don't think you quite grasp just what you're doing. Your touch sends ripples that could take out the West Coast. Take it slow. Take it slow. My heart is swollen and I give in. Your touch moves the tides, I hope you can swim. Honey, I hope you can sail. You melted a heart as big as a whale. Your touch sends ripples that can take out the East Coast. Take it slow. Take it slow. Heart is swollen, way too fast to bend. Your touch moves the tides, I hope you can swim. Just to sing you this tune. How your light moves me like the tides are moved by the moon. Your touch sends ripples that could take out the Gulf Coast. Give 'em a break, you rotten bitch, take it slow. Take it slow. My heart is swollen and I give in. Your touch moves the tides, I hope you can swim, I hope you can sail. I hope you can sail, I hope you can swim. I hope I can sail, I hope I can swim. Well, what time is that? I can only
4:45.
I can only imagine if I respected your time, I would only have 5 more minutes
15.
left. 15 more
Yeah.
minutes left. I'm like, I got enough time for another tune and to let you know how grateful I am. Kent.
Well,
Yeah.
It's hard,
the
it's not.
feeling is 100% mutual, Banjo.
Mm.
I have to say that for whatever reason, we didn't get a crowd today, which is unfortunate.
Right.
But we appreciate your command performance. I feel like we're loyal to you, to listen to you just right here.
You are royalty. Yeah. hope y'all feel that way. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. And, I got a brown bag special right now. If you like me, you love me, you can't get enough of me, you want to take me home, there's ways to do it. And, because I've got CDs, right? I've got a brown bag special right now, $5 a CD, and I got 4 up there. 2 of them are my old band, right? And so if you like hearing me solo, and with Camo singing, we've also got me with the band, and we've also got this book here, which really spells out what our mission is, you know, in a beautifully poetic adventure book.
It's in English.
You know, and it's in English.
That's good.
You can read it forward and backward. You might get different messages, yeah. But yeah, so we do have a medicine show coming up. It's October 4th to October 12th. And this is what brings us all over the country is putting on these 7-day celebrations for community resilience. We do variety shows and workshops, and if there's any opportunity for collaboration, maybe y'all want to come and host a jam or you know, which I would say is medicine, right? You know, all these accesses to people living their absolute best lives. I would say this is medicine, right? And so if y'all got workshops or something like that you'd like to you know, maybe contribute with, you know, there's all the room in the world for collaboration. And you know, just to be clear, our mission is empower, educate, entertain, and our purpose is to unite a seemingly fragmented nation with a laugh. And I will also invite you, as much as I would encourage you to throw something in the hat if it suits you, buy a CD, take me home, and get a book that, you know, might wind up being something that you absolutely love and cherish, or maybe winds up being a gift to somebody that they love and cherish it. To also consider being a patron of me and our family as we travel across the country in this pursuit of putting on these events that bring together community in a way that, you know, has a ripple effect. You know, it teaches people a new way of being for themselves that, you know, maybe they didn't realize that growing a garden really made a difference for them, or maybe they didn't realize that, you know, a tuning fork could make a difference for health for them, you know, or whatever have you. But, you know, this is what we're doing. You know, so we'll you know, if you want to come and talk to us when I'm done, I'm going to sing you 2 more tunes. But if you want to talk to us, we'll get you any information that you want. If you want to be a patron of ours, you know, most people are giving us $5 a month, you know, who are you know, are supporters of what we're doing, you know, in our lives and around the country. You know, with that,
Take a credit card.
what's that?
You take credit card?
Apple Pay?
We take the whole card. Yeah.
Numbers on the back.
No, we do have Venmo and all that stuff, if that makes a difference, you know, Cash App and whatever have you. And those of y'all listening at home, we're live broadcasting over here. If y'all want to donate, it makes a difference. It gets us cash and boots that fit, and you know, I've been losing so much weight on this juice cleanse. I actually need clothes that actually fit. Normally I wear a vest, but it was just so big on me now. Like, I lost 20 pounds in the last month. Like, I'm feeling good. Thank you. I deserve that. I deserve that. Thank you. I'm just thinking, you know, because there's so many tunes here that I didn't actually get to play for you. I'm thinking about.
What you got?
Maybe one of these. out, scream, shout, I'm feeling me.
Yes, man.
Ain't much more I'll take before I break. Lord, Lord, I'm feeling me. Lord, so goddamn me. I'm feeling me. So goddamn me. Scream, shout, scream, shout, I'm feeling me. And I'm gonna say, ain't much more I'll take. Lord, Lord, I'm feeling me. Lord, so goddamn me. Oh, I try. Oh, do I try? Ooh, do I try? Ooh, do I try? And I'll keep trying. Oh, every day. I'm feeling me. Lord, so goddamn me. I'm feeling me. So goddamn me. Scream, scream out, scream out. I'm feeling me. I'm gonna say, ain't much more I'll take. Lord, Lord, I'm feeling me. Lord, so goddamn me. I'm feeling me, so goddamn me. Scream, scream out, scream, shout, I'm feeling me. Ain't much more I'll take before I break. Lord, Lord, I'm feeling me. Lord, Lord, so goddamn. That was a gospel tune I wrote when I was with my ex-wife. Thanks for coming on, Joe. Here's a little ragtime tune I wrote a few years ago, and you can just imagine with this tune that the sun is just breaching the window, shining on your sweetheart's face as they open their eyes and you open yours. There you are, first thing in the morning, staring in each other's eyes. This is what's going through your brain, you're singing. What are you still doing here? I thought I told you to get out last night. We're having this conversation again. Have you been told today how beautiful and loved you are? I can't show you how much I appreciate you, and I hope these few words of pure gratitude will show you just how much I love you.
Thank you.
Banjo! Banjo! Banjo!
Get your lighters out, get your lighters out.
Oh yeah.
We're living there now.
You live there?
We've been living in Williams since February.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been out there in years.
Yeah. Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, I'd love to get you all the information for the medicine show so you can join us, you know. It's gonna be a good time, you know. We've got all sorts of.
You said that on the 4th, the first day, it's here in town.
It is, yeah. Yeah, we have a mobile party, so we'll have multiple stops, you know, and the theme of that day, as a participant in the medicine show revival, the theme of that day is pollinating the collective. This brilliant mind right here. And so we've got multiple businesses that are all very community oriented and health oriented all around downtown Grants Pass that are participating in this. So we'll have a mobile party where we'll start at True Juice, and then we'll go to one spot and party for a little bit, and another spot and party for a little bit, and so on and so forth. And one of those stops is going to be at the Art Along the Road while Josephine Jukebox is playing at the Owl Stage. Is that right? You know, so this is all going to be very a good time. But that evening we have the prom over at Revolujahs, and so we'll have
I can't even imagine what that means.
So you got to miss it if you missed out on your prom. Get your ticket. It'll be a
Break
hoot.
out my tux.
Yeah, I was told, I got asked to a prom, and then I got kicked out of enough high schools in Houston, and then when my a dear friend of mine asked me to be her prom date to her prom, right before the prom, she actually took back her invitation. She said, because I know you're just gonna look at other girls. Like, got me there.
Nice. Sure you're gonna look at other girls, of
Of
course.
course I'm gonna look at
But
other
see what
girls.
they all got on, right?
Banjo, at any time you have events locally, email me the promos for it.
Nice.
And I can spread those out to the people I know. I've got over 200 people on my contacts.
Nice.
Yeah, some of them are way up.
Nice,
Yeah.
To kill
nice.
Post that stuff, yeah.
I'd love to. Yeah. And then, we're gonna wind up coming back this way. If you'd have me again, I'd love to come and play for you again. You know, we can do a round two, see if we can get a few more people in here.
I'll check the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll be in touch on that too.
Yeah, we're after the medicine show, we're headed north, and then we're coming back south. You know, and so we'll be, coming back late October.
We can make a move for you too. You know, we've typically been doing these things second and fourth Sundays, that's it.
Right.
We're flexible. If you're coming through on any other day of the week, we can accommodate you.
Right on.
Yeah, anytime. Just let us know. I have my calendar here. Let's look at it. You're coming through in October? You know what date?
My phone got
Yeah,
ran over.
we'll be coming back around the 22nd until November 1st.
Okay, okay.
Is that right?
Yeah,
We'll have about a week.
fair is like the
That's a Saturday,
17th, 18th, 19th.
Okay.
So
So we're going straight up there and
leave the
coming right back.
21st.
Mhm.
Get back 22nd.
Mhm. Nice.
Maybe some days at mom's. you
Right,
know.
I was almost thinking about starting a tour. We'll have to get back to you for sure. But I was thinking about from there hitting up Bellingham and actually doing a tour.
Yeah.
Border to border, right?
Yeah, if we're ready to leave Oregon, we got our ducks in a row. Instead of coming back to Williams for a week
Yeah.
and just take down. Yeah.
It's a very hectic lifestyle doing these medicine shows. Like you got a lot of moving parts. And we've got 3 mobile stages, and we have a small fleet just in our 4-person family, and then we go to these places, and we call it the Community Forward Circus, the Medicine Show Revival. It's the Community Forward Circus, right? And so what makes it community forward is that we are networking the people in that community to put on an event for themselves, more or less. So you wind up going out to these medicine show revivals. What you're going to see is not only the talent that we bring as a family, but also you're gonna meet a lot of your neighbors that are actually participating and getting their medicine to you and the rest of your neighbors. So part of how we are uniting a seemingly fragmented nation with a laugh.
It's appreciated.
What's that?
It's appreciated, I say.
Nice. Yeah.
And say goodbye to these guys.
Thank you all for tuning in. I wanna make sure that our Patreon is available. Anybody that wants to start giving us $5 a month, makes a difference. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Appreciate it.
Make it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
So if you want to post that on link on there.
I can add that, yeah. Bye.
Thank you all.
All right.
Nice.
You are